AM 560. The Answer.
They offset the raising prices, not just gas. They don't pay for gas. They don't pay for gas. They give themselves a 3.5% raise, they say, and they leave off the fact that they get a per diem and the stipend. $128,000 a year to work 70 days a year. And how many Illinoisans right now are struggling trying to pay the fracking taxes? Are you out of your mind? Pfft, I'd burn the house down. Scott, Mundelein.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you, babe?
Well, I'm going to ask everybody in Illinois to look at their property tax bill, and they'll find out that half of that money that they're writing that check for is going to pensions. Now, I was born in Detroit, and when Detroit went bankrupt, all the government employees that were on a tax
Payer pension?
retirement program it's gone. They're going to decide if it's a liability, and they are. It's gone. They're wiped out. So why can't they make government employees do a 401k like the rest of us?
Because that would make them like the rest of us, Scott, brother. And if you, I mean, I know you know this. They are not like the rest of us. They are immune to reality. And when you look at which is why they can root against American success. Think of it that way. If they were like the rest of us, they would be understanding the benefits to the private economy that the private economy has not seen in decades. They would see the growth and they would see the success of the economy. They can't do that. They can't do that. So they have this fake economy that exists on everybody else being too poor to be able to afford to move. That's the other thing. Once they get you where you can't move, now you're handcuffed. Now you're just in for a penny, in for a pound.
Well, I'm what was I going to say? But yeah, the 401k and everything. I forgot what I was going to say.
Don't worry about it. We're going to be here tomorrow. You call back. Come on. I like you. You're a good caller anytime. Because the way that people have to understand, and you've explained it to a certain extent, they are not attached to the real economy. There is no real, which is why.
I know what I was going to say.
Okay, go.
I look forward to Illinois going bankrupt just so I can see their faces when they realize they screwed themselves over.
Well, but when you look at the numbers, they're already bankrupt. They don't exist on financial reality. They exist on frauding Medicare, Social Security, and unemployment benefits from the federal government. The federal government gives a tremendous.
Up to them, though.
Well,
it will catch up to them. It caught up to Detroit.
But here, Scott, when these guys give themselves a raise and they say it's $104,000, but it's $128,000, and they retire,
for
they
a
get
part-time job
for 70 days a year. They get 80% compounded growth, cost of living, 3% a year. So by the time it's 10 years, they're making more than they made when they worked, and it's forever. Why would they ever go to a 401k system? You couldn't get one to do that ever. So that's what people have to understand, Scott. And when you really understand it, you can no longer live there. You can't unless you're in on it. If you're in on it, then you're in on it.
I always stay here for my grandsons.
You come down here. We'll fly everybody. We'll fly all families. We'll get family junkets. By the time we get enough people here, believe me, it'll be cheaper than Spirit used to be, Scott. Thank you for the call. Linda Palis.
Sean, I just had to call you and say how grateful I am that our legislators worked tirelessly through the night for 20 hours to give themselves a Lincoln raise. I am just so disturbed.
First of all, did you ever see those chairs? Did you ever see them? They tell you they work 20 hours. I drove 22 hours. So what? So what? You got to do your job. You do your frickin' job. You want to be applauded for it? And these are the sloths that work 70 days a year and want to justify 128. Now, be quiet now, Linda. We got to talk about the Bears. The McCaskies need a stadium right here, you red bastard. I never liked the McCaskies either. Ugh.
In their bill, they also passed free tuition for in-state illegal immigrants.
Well, you got to have that. Who's going to rob you, Linda?
Yeah. It's not a head scratcher. I live in Illinois. Okay, that's
call Goldilocks.
Thanks for listening.
Secure the property. Are you nuts? Tom, Tinley Park.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I wanted to weigh in on pensions. Now, I worked for close to 43 years for a private contractor. Fortunately, everything was good with my pension. Nobody dipped their fingers into it this way and that and used it for other ominous things. But I will say this, in my years of working, I've worked in and around a lot of these people that, A, had one pension, they retired early, then they got into another entity in one way, shape, or form, and got another pension, and some are even getting three. Now, in this day and age of AI, and I would say all these people need to get called out and say, pick your pension, A, B, C, or D. You're only getting one.
Do you know what's fascinating,
That would save
Tom?
a lot of money.
Do you know what's fascinating? I couldn't agree. I agree. But you know what's fascinating? I don't really go after the worker because it was set up by the government, by these sloths who are representatives, and the government knowing what it would do. You build a foot soldier mafia, a foot soldier army. It's not really their fault. The pension existed. I had a guy in my cigar store, great guy. And he was on two pensions. He went back to school. They paid for the school and all this stuff. And he would say to me, I didn't do this. They said to me, go get this other job and we'll give you this and that and that. They build an infrastructure the way the Soviet Union tried to implement one. The problem is economically it's fraud because they're calling it a pension when it's a mafia employment agreement. You and I and Squirrel, we have 401ks and you could have pensions and the rest of it. That is not based on any return on investment. That is a financial crime. Now there's the culpability.
Well,
you're not entitled to non-economic realities. So that's the problem I have.
Right. It's a starting point, though. You know what I'm saying, Sean? It's a
Tom,
starting
I couldn't
point.
agree more with
you.
you.
You know what? Guess what? Here's the cutoff point. You get one, and just think of all the money it would save.
We could start with the Daily Cousins that retired from jobs they didn't even know they had. Let's start with the ghost jobs. Thank